Your attention is not free. It's the most expensive currency you possess. Today, I'm teaching you the art of silence. This has nothing to do with being petty. I'm talking about discipline, the kind that makes you untouchable. And if you're a young man trying to level up, if you're a baby daddy trying to build a legacy, then you need to learn what Machiavelli understood centuries ago. The man who chases loses. The man who withdraws controls the board. Now let's get straight to it. 1. Presence is power. Machiavelli studied leaders, wars, betrayals, alliances, real power. And one pattern kept repeating. The ruler who responded to everything looked insecure. The ruler who argued with critics looked weak. The ruler who moved emotionally got moved off the throne. But the ruler who sat in silence, who let enemies bark into the void, that ruler was feared. Because silence isn't emptiness. Silence is a statement. It says, you don't qualify for my attention. It says, I operate above this. It says, I'm not reacting, I'm deciding. Machiavelli said a leader must be both fox and lion. The fox knows what traps to avoid, the lion knows which battles are beneath him. Most men today, they're neither. They're like a dog chasing every car, tired, loud, broke, and emotionally controllable. You will not be that man. Power isn't loud. Power is quiet. 2. Attention is currency. Let's make it simple. If you spend your attention on nonsense, you're going to be broke in every way that matters, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, because attention fuels your confidence, your focus, your money, moves your body, your parenting, your peace. So when someone drags you into drama, arguments, petty disrespect, prove yourself traps, that's not just annoying, that's theft. And Machiavelli would tell you, a leader doesn't explain himself to thieves. You don't win every battle. You choose wars that pay you back. 3. Who deserves your silence and your absence? Not everybody deserves a response. Some people deserve a boundary, some people deserve distance, and some people deserve nothing. Here are the 3 categories. A. Enemies in plain clothes. These are the ones who smile in your face but move against you. They want your downfall, not your growth. If you respond to them, you promote them. You tell the world they can disturb your peace. Machiavelli's mindset: know your enemies, don't feed them. B. Critics who create nothing. They build nothing, risk nothing, but talk the most. They're spectators screaming from the cheap seats. Your results are your reply. Your silence is your standard. C. Energy vampires. Always a crisis, always drama, always need you to carry their emotional weight. My lesson: you are not a free therapist. You are not an emotional dumpster. You are not a 24/7 hotline. If they don't add peace, progress, or loyalty, they don't get access. The goal isn't to be cold. The goal is to be selective. 4. Present but unreachable. Machiavelli wasn't teaching people to disappear like cowards. He was teaching them to withdraw strategically. There's a difference. Absence can be seen as weakness. Meanwhile, withdrawal is control. Withdrawal means you don't answer everything, you don't jump at every demand, you don't explain your boundaries to people who benefit from breaking them. You don't argue with emotional bait. You become harder to access because you're building something. And when you're building a legacy, especially as a baby daddy, this matters because your peace is your power. If you keep getting dragged into chaos, you lose. Focus, money, fitness, patience, time with your kid, mental clarity, so you don't pull away to punish people. You pull away to protect the mission. 5. Baby daddy upgrade. Let me talk to the baby daddies for a minute. Your child is watching you. Even when they're not in the room, they feel the energy. So here's how a leveled up man moves. You don't argue for sport. You don't clap back to every jab. You don't take bait in the name of standing your ground. You communicate clean, direct, and on purpose. If it's about the child, you respond. If it's personal disrespect, emotional poking, ego games, you don't bite. That's not weakness. That's leadership. Machiavelli would say, don't fight battles that drain the kingdom. Protect the kingdom. Your kingdom is your peace, your money, your body, your time, your child. 6. The discipline. This is the hard part, because your emotions will try to run the show. Someone disrespects you, your ego wants retaliation. Someone doubts you, your pride wants a speech. Someone plays you, your anger wants revenge. But here's the rich baby daddy truth. If someone can control your reaction, they can control you. So you train, not with theory, with reps. Drill. Next time you feel that impulse to react, pause, breathe once, relax your face, lower your shoulders, speak slower or don't speak at all. Become stone, not because you're scared, because you're in control. And control is attractive. Control is respected. Control is power. 7. Social chess, not checkers. Here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Most people are playing checkers emotionally. A disciplined man plays chess mentally. When you don't react, you force the situation to reveal itself. You let people show their hand. You stop negotiating with noise. In business, desperation loses deals. In social circles, approval-seeking looks weak. In life, the man who stays centered becomes the gravitational force. Not because he's better, because he's stable, and stability is rare. 8. Caring too much. Most men don't lose because they're not talented. They lose because they care too much about opinions being understood, being liked, having the last word. That's not sensitivity, that's a leash. Machiavelli warned leaders, a ruler trying to be loved by everyone becomes controlled by everyone. Rich baby daddy translation. If you need everybody to approve of you, you'll never be free. So start catching yourself. When you over-explain, when you chase closure, when you argue with people who don't matter, when you change your truth to be accepted, each time you catch it, cut it. 9. The final transformation. This is what all of it builds into. You become a man who can't be pulled off his path. You don't react, you don't beg, you don't chase, you don't explain yourself to people who already decided to misunderstand you. You protect your inner world like it's sacred, because it is. You reserve warmth for the worthy. You reserve words for moments that matter. You reserve energy for battles that build your legacy. You're not becoming heartless. You're becoming sovereign. And Machiavelli would call that the greatest form of power, self-mastery. So here's the code from today forward. Speak less, observe more. Respond only when it serves the mission. Stop feeding people who drain you. Let results talk. Let silence handle the rest. If you're really on this path, comment below. I move like a king. And if you're a baby daddy building a legacy, comment. My child gets the best. Subscribe if you felt this. Because we're not doing motivation over here. We're building men who can't be manipulated. Men who can't be distracted. F these excuses and build your legacy, because your reign starts now.